up, everyone? We are Riddlebreak. We are releasing a new EP this year called Architeuthis, and we are here for Metal4Africa to tell you all about it.
So this year was a pretty crazy year, as we all know. We managed to play 4 shows, which is very little for us. At the beginning of the year, before lockdown, we had a show. We did a live stream show, which was pretty cool as well. And then we did 2 other smaller shows, one at Java and one at Sonage, if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
And AJ's Pub.
Oh, AJ's Pub. We also played at AJ's Pub. Thank you. So a few more shows. All with, social distancing and all that good stuff. Besides that, we've been doing a lot of social media stuff like podcasts and some interviews here and there. And working on our new recording, like Jade introduced earlier, plus a few other social media campaigns, little competitions and stuff. So we've been keeping busy as much as we can.
So Architeuthis is how it's pronounced. It basically means giant squid. So our EP is based around giant monsters in space. The main theme that runs across everything is the monster within man, and accepting that monster. So that's why we chose it. And yeah, the giant squid is quite widely misunderstood. Like scientists and people have blamed it a lot in mythology. So yeah, that's the main theme behind it.
So we actually had 2 artists designing the artwork. The first 2 were done by Chris Valentine, and the second 2 were done by Nathan Ferreira, a close friend of ours. So it was obviously the giant hedgehog, a giant moth, our legion creature, and then the bunny werewolf, we named it. These all kind of, as Ru said in the previous question, it all revolves around the monster inside us, kind of being comfortable with this darkness inside you, that it's all part of us, right? And we can, it's okay, basically. So, yeah, I honestly am blown away by the artwork. I think these guys are so talented. It's beautiful and pretty freaky.
Each song has its own separate meaning that I could delve very deep into, but I won't do that. I'll just give you an idea. So Allegiant took the idea from a book called The First Heretic. Very, very good book. And it's all about being an army of darkness and together in it. But not in an evil way, but like all the people who feel different, who feel weird about who they are and why they are, coming together to feel something bigger than themselves. A momentary brightness is short and simple. It's about how our planet's fucked. We're running out of food, and soon we're going to have to eat each other. The Hog was a very special track that Julian requested that I write about his amazing little hedgehog. It was a very interesting song to write because I've never had to get lyrics using Wikipedia before. And then you could also kind of relate it to the monster inside of you, as is our whole revolving theme, and how we can accept that and how we can use that monster inside of us to gain better things in life, I guess. And then my personal favorite out of all the 4 tracks is Eyes of the World Ender, which is the harsh reality of love and how people always see this fairy tale. They have this fairy tale idea about love and relationships and things like that, but it's also about the dark side of it and how you have to deal with that, and how you can overcome it. And most of the time it has to do with your own flaws instead of the other person's flaws. And yeah, that's the meaning behind the track.
Some of these songs we've been working on for a long time. Really dialing them in. Often I would write pieces of music, bring them to the band, we work with them, we enhance them, we adjust them to make them, flow better and stuff like that. So it is a big group effort in terms of like the final vision of the song, that's for sure. Sorry. When did we start writing these tracks? Some of them are really old, and they've just like been revitalized and brought to life in a more like more like current sound. And you know, at least in terms of, you know, during 2020, it took a really long time to get a few of them done, with lockdown and stuff and not being able to get into studio. So when we finally finished off the last 2 tracks at the end of the year, it was quite a relief, I think, for all of us to be like, yeah, we finally finished recording these songs. But that's the general creation process, you know. Myself or Gareth will bring music forward to the band, and we work on it together, and we make it as awesome as we can.
Our go-to producer has been, from the very beginning, it's been Clint Watts of Watts Productions. He has recorded 99% of our music, mixed it, and mastered it. However, with the Architeuthis EP and the pandemic and lockdown, things kind of took a backseat for a little bit, where we had to try and make a plan with resources closer to home, or in my case, in my actual house. So with the last 2 tracks, we finished up vocals and violin with a good friend of mine, Kyle Buerta. He is also the guitarist and producer for Human Nebula, and as a matter of fact, he is also one of my ex-students when I was lecturing production many moons ago. But yes, the tracks are very tight. I think as a band we prefer clarity over volume. So, and both these producers, I believe, are, you know, also that way inclined when it comes to mixing and mastering. Clint has this awesome way of pushing you to be the best that you can be. I mean, he'll make you redo a take 100 times until it's absolutely perfect. Both producers have amazing ears, so they hear every single pop, squeak and mistake, and they really push us to be the best that we can be. Sometimes they push us to be even better than I think we thought we were in terms of how capable we are at playing music like this. So yeah, a huge thank you to those 2 guys especially. Clint did finish up the mixing and mastering for the overall EP, and yeah, if you guys are looking for anyone to produce some tracks, please go see those guys, because they're just the best and we love them.
Well, I love playing these songs. They're different compared to our old stuff, which is a nice change. The crowd seems to love them. My personal favorite to play is Eyes of the World Ender, just because the ending feels almost relieving to play. It just feels like a release of energy, and it's very cool. The crowd seems to really enjoy A Momentary Brightness, just because it's a short, powerful, somewhat bouncy song with some little surprises thrown in. That's the best way I can describe it. As far as what songs we've yet to play, we've played all of them. So yeah, no, they're just great songs to play.
I like to play Momentary Brightness as well. I feel like it's really fun to play because it's so bouncy and full of energy. And then also the hog, which sometimes the crowd can be a bit confused by because of the weird time signature feel. But it's always interesting to like look into the crowd and you see someone like, oh, I get it, you know, that kind of moment. Like everyone's experienced that when listening to like a song with a weird time signature and you're like, what's happening? Oh, I get it. Oh, okay. And then they kind of feel it, which is a nice feeling as well.
I really gotta say, I freaking love jamming all the songs, but the hog holds a special place in my heart because it just has the most evilest of evil intros and it's just so ridiculous that we're singing about Julian's pet hedgehog. It's just the most glorious cake of what the fuck, and I just want to get totally immersed in it. It's just like, it is just so energetic from beginning to end, and so bouncy, and I just love the tones that we get out of that song. Yeah, that's definitely my top of all of them.
I'd say my favorite is Eyes of the World Ender. I really love that progressive, slow bit towards the end, and then it like builds up into this crazy crescendo, and especially when we end off our sets with it, I feel like it hypes the crowd up into this moment of just like I don't know how to explain it. It's like just awe. Yeah, it's awe-inspiring. Like just builds up, and then like it's just this crazy release afterwards.
Yeah, these songs are all really fun to play, but Allegiant has to be my favorite. It is just, man. But there's one thing, when Julian brought Eyes of the World Ender, and it was still on Guitar Pro, that weird sound, I swear to God, that first breakdown came in and I lost it. That is one of the craziest breakdowns, and I mean, you need to hear it on Guitar Pro. It sounds so shit, and I was still just so ready to play that. So the first time I got to play that, ooh, one of the most satisfying things to do.
Our EP launch party that was actually going to happen end of this month, in correlation with SummerFest', we have had to postpone it due to the new lockdown, unfortunately. But it's still definitely on the cards, and we will definitely be keeping our fans and friends updated as soon as we know what's going on with the new lockdown regulations and whatnot.
It's not necessarily that we're overly positive or always trying to punt a positive message, but I would say that we accept when things are not necessarily always positive, and we try and overcome that as much as we can. You know, it's more about accepting the darkness and walking with it than just trying to, because there is also such a thing as toxic positivity. So you can't always be too positive and just wash everything or sweep everything under the carpet, but also it is important to try and keep your head above water and not to let circumstance get you down. Like, you always have to try and make the best of a bad situation at the same time.
To all of you out there, recording and delivering Architeuthis was one hell of a wild ride. There were a lot of unexpected hurdles that we had to jump over, but we feel like that made it all more worth the while. So, you know, once you guys get your hands on Architeuthis, I hope it blows your minds as much as it was fun and exciting for us to record and share with you.
So, Sue, a few special thanks. Nathan Ferreira, he's honestly always there to help the band, whether it's taking photographs, making music videos, drawing art pieces, giving us tattoos. I mean, the list just goes on forever. So thank you so much. Clint Watts for recording. Honestly, I don't think this album could be as good as, like I said, it is. He makes us better than we thought we could be. Always pushing us to do better than we are. So thank you so much for that. This album sounds amazing. Carl Buerta, also amazing. Really, I mean, we didn't get to work too much with him on this EP, but we're definitely going to in the future. His work is incredible, so thank you. Chris Valentine for some of the artwork. Man, so talented, so great. Thank you so much. I think people are really going to dig it. Devo for kind of motivating us, kind of organizing us through this whole COVID lockdown, always being there, organizing whether it's campaigns or social media or press or interviews. He also had a lot to do with this album and kind of organizing and getting the steps in place, so thank you so much for that. Our fans, I mean, obviously, what would we be without you? Thank you so much. Really hope you enjoy this as a token of our appreciation and our love for what we do. You keep the scene alive in our country, so thank you so much. The Metal4Africa team and SummerFest, even though it's really not happening, it's going to, and we're so excited for that. Always keeping metal alive in our country. Thank you so much, everyone involved with that. And then we have a lyric video coming out for one of the songs. That was done by Russell McCallaghan. I'm so sorry if I messed your name up. That's going to be awesome. You guys are in for a treat. So thank you so much for that. I really, a lyric video can be quite hard to encapsulate what's going on, especially our songs are freaking long. So I really think you did a good job. So thank you for everything. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Can you hear me? It feels like...
Yes, we can hear you.